The college football experience, Boise State Broncos 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at UnderdogFantasy.com with our promo code TCESGPN. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Dan Hawkins. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Boise State Broncos, welcome Broncos edition 2025 style. YouTube.com/the college experience as we continue on this journey of breaking down all 136 college football teams in the FBS with a solo episode for each and every team in the land. And tonight, it is one of the most exciting teams, in my opinion, just over a magical story. And, the Boise State is, to me, a perfect example of why you should never do 4 auto bids for each conference. I know right now the SEC Media Days, Big Ten's next week. And I'll be at Mountain West talking to Spencer Danielson, God willing, in the next 48 hours. But they're the perfect example. Why? Because the sport changes. I know people think, well, Ohio State is still Ohio State. They were great in 1920. Yeah, but Boise State came out of nowhere, like shot out of a cannon. And they haven't had a losing season in forever. You can go, I think it's 98 or 97 the last time they had a losing season. And they were in the FCS before that. Simply an unbelievable run that and I can't wait to talk more about it for this season. One of my favorites. So if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Dan2Base Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Woo! I mean, I got stats. I got, a school in Boise, Idaho just says, hey, you know what? We're going to go all in. I know they've been playing football since 1933, but they were like a junior college all the way up until like 1970 or 69 or something. Then became a D2 school. Jumped to the FCS when? 76, which wasn't even the FCS then. And then just won won the championship, the FCS championship in Division 1AA in 1980. But they have been in the FBS since what? 96. And let me tell you, they have not had a losing season since 1997. Dominance. Absolute dominance. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience at Leon Rice, doing a great job with the Boise State program. When the season goes live, we'll be live every single night of the season for hoops, just like we will be for football. Give it up for Farmer, Stafford, Austin P with the Governors, at South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and at West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Monetlon Mac. How are you, buddy?
What is up, man? Love Boise, love the Smurf turf, baby. Let's talk some Broncos.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Let's go. The chat is rolling along, and shit. I mean, I can't even keep up with everybody that's in here. Shout out to Weehawk. Shout out to Cannabis Capper. Yes, I mean, just a slew of great people in the chat. Come be a part of the chat. Let us know what you think.
They're busting your chops for being late again.
Oh yeah. You know, this is guys. You know, this is classic.
TCE.
Well, not only TCE, it's show business. I know how this works. All right, I've performed in enough bowling alleys to know you make them wait. All right, you make them wait a little bit. All right. But man, what a run, dude. This is why the sport will never be bad. Is because like anybody at any time can just get their administration together, get some money, and say, "Fuck it, we're going in." I mean, how many double-digit win seasons here?
I was just looking at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 since 1999.
How about this for you too? They are since 99. They are 151 and 15 on the Smurf turf. And I should note that their worst season, I believe, with losses there was COVID related. So like their record probably with normal amount of fans is probably like, 145 and like 110 or something. Remarkable, absolutely remarkable. And what was great too was, it seemed like under Andy Avalos, things were working out. They switched to they fire him. Spencer Danielson comes in as the interim, and boy, as he hit the ground running. Let's get to these slides. Fire uniforms, by the way, fire logo. But Spencer Danielson, he's 15-3. Last season was his first real season, like as full on head coach, and they went to the college football playoffs, and obviously. I feel like he's got this thing because under Avalos it kind of slipped a little bit. And I feel like he's got this trajectory back to where Boise State is Boise State, whether it was under Cutter, whether it was under Dan Hawkins, who you heard on the intro, or Chris Peterson or Brian Harsin. Those guys all kind of had some really fire years, and he got it back there. Where are you at with Spencer Danielson?
I mean, how can you complain? I mean, he took over the interim year, did a good job, won 3 out of 4. Then he follows it up with where they get to the college football playoff, and damn should have won at Oregon in the regular season. I mean, they got a bad whistle out there. So it's cool to see the trajectory of his career. He started as a GA, then a defensive end coach, then he was a DC with the D line, and then he moved over to the linebackers. Then he gets the head coaching gig. So he's worked his way up the ladder. And he's doing a hell of a job, and I mean, he's going to be there for a while.
Yeah. I mean, and one of the things I thought was ballsy. I gotta give him credit because you don't just year one, you're coming in, you land this 5-star Malik Nelson, who was a guy that everyone was talking about, and you started a 3-star. With really no experience, little experience, over a 5-star. That's a ballsy play in year one of your coaching career, and especially knowing that you had been an interim. So, like, it's almost like the Zach Arnett thing at Mississippi State when Coach Leach passed away. I know it was a different set of circumstances, but they extended him 2 years. But I'm sure the buyout wasn't steep. So that's a ballsy coaching decision, which I really respect. For Spencer Danielson. And I liked what he said about that. He's like, I buy into our culture. You show up to this, he says the right things, man. Like, our culture is different. This is different than everywhere else. We're not going to be out in the NIL. We'll take care of our own. I don't know if I know this because I interviewed him, but that was just what he was saying. It was like, we'll take care of our own. We believe you go out on a limb for us. We will take care of you, but we're not going to go out there and try to get the hot shot transfer portal guy. We believe in the guys we coach up. That's where we want to pay our money to, essentially, is the people that do it for us. And I love that. I love that about him. Ashton Jeanty, everyone's wondering why the hell he didn't transfer, because he didn't need to. Look, he almost won the Heisman Trophy. He was, if any other year, if he wasn't going up against Travis Hunter, I think he would have got the Heisman Trophy. So credit to Coach Danielson there. The offense, though, Ashton Jeanty is gone. Maddux Madsen is the guy. 32 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. And did I butcher the I think I might have. But Maddux Madsen, where are you at with Maddux Madsen? Because obviously 3-star, but and he was a young sophomore, last season. So I thought he played pretty damn well. What'd you make of that?
I did too. I know it didn't end well in the college football playoff, but I mean that Penn State defense was pretty damn good with all those pros on it. So I 23-6 touchdown to interception ratio, threw for over 3,000 yards. He's a gamer, man. He's undersized, but he just makes plays. And like you said, for him to win the job, I think that speaks to the Boise culture. So I like Madsen. I would imagine he probably takes another step here in his passing progression, just because it's another year in the system and he's older. But yeah, so far, I mean, he got you to a college football playoff. I know it helps to have Jeanty, but he still did pretty damn good in my opinion.
Yeah, and the offense a season ago, Dirk Cutter retired and stuff, but Nate Potter's the guy with 5th in scoring offense in the country, 70th in pass offense, 8th in rush offense, charting at the number 8 offense in America. There is no Ashton Jeanty, which is obviously, a big deal, but Madsen, I think another year of experience will benefit them. And then don't sleep on some of the running backs they got. Malik Sherrod is a guy that I got to interview a season ago when he was at Fresno. Maybe it was 2 years ago. One of them. He's rushed for over 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. Jeff Tedford guy, I love this transfer portal get. As Fresno's got coaching turnover there with Matt Entz coming in, and then to mix him with Sire Gaines, who was a freshman last year, only had 156 yards, but he was like 7.8 yards a carry. I think this backfield, college fantasy football players, if you're looking for a sleeper, Sire Gaines might be that guy, and Malik Sherrod as well. I think the backfield's going to be pretty good, and when you consider that, mix that with they return Latrell Caples, one of their better wideouts from a season ago, who has over 1,000 yards in his career, 9 touchdowns. And how about bringing 4 of 5 back on the offensive line, and then Matt Lauter, who was a beast tight end for them. So if they could figure out the running back spot, which I believe they already have figured out personally, I think this offense is going to be fine. I think everything, I know they lost what? The other wideout to USC. Okay. Not panicking. Strahan, I think his name was. I think this offense is going to. You could even make a case that it's going to take a step forward. Although this year's schedule, I do believe, is harder. They did go to the portal, as I said. Malik Sherrod. These are the only guys they brought in on the offensive side of the ball. Running back, yeah, Malik Sherrod from Fresno. Who I believe was on the Fresno team that won the Mountain West Championship in Boise against Avalos, I believe. Offensive tackle Miles Walker from Ohio State and kicker Colton Boomer from UCF. Great. If you get a kicker named Boomer on the last name, he's got to be great. Yes. But Mac, this is a tricky one because part of me is like, I kind of think the offense is in better shape.
Yeah. But
the schedule's harder, so I don't think they're going to finish 8th. I think they'll probably be a little bit back, and they're breaking in a new OC, even though I know he was with it's more of the same, I think. But I'm going to say they take a small step back, but it's not because of the personnel or Ashton Jeanty being gone. It's because the schedule is a lot harder in my mind. Where are you at with the offense?
It is, but it's also hard to replace 2,600 yards on the ground, 7 yards a carry, and 29 touchdowns. But I will say Gaines averaged 8 yards a carry in his limited touches. It's just Jeanty had 374 carries on the year, the ultimate workhorse. And I like Sherrod coming over from Fresno. I'm with you. Slight step back, but I think Madsen takes a step. But I think they're going to be able to run the ball at will again.
Me too. I think both running backs are going to be putting up numbers. It's just Ashton Jeanty was obviously
freak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't replace exactly his game, but I think they're going to be able to be very successful on the ground.
Yep.
Shout out to GK in the chat saying finally catching a live show. Let's go. Yeah, and love the knowledge in here. Surf City Bill, I know that he wasn't the OC in 2024, but he's inheriting that. I put this year's OC with the offense last year. It was Dirk Cutter calling the offense a year ago. I feel like maybe I should clarify that because that's a common comment I get on the show afterwards. It's like these fucking idiots don't even realize he wasn't the OC, but I think I say it, right? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm arguing with people every time. Like I am well aware, but he's inheriting this offense. But anyway, respect, Surf City Bill. I'm not giving you shit. I'm just saying, maybe I need to clarify it better.
Let's debut the term jack fucks. There's a lot of jack fucks in the comments nowadays. Every time I open up the YouTube in the morning, some of the comments are hilarious. Like they're busting our ass for not knowing Washington's lake to ocean situation. I go, how would I know that? I'm not.
I said I'd never been to the stadium.
I know,
right? And I, by the way, it does connect to the ocean. But I mean, who gives a fuck about not knowing the name of the lake?
Yeah.
All right.
As we pick them to go 9-3 and maybe make the college football playoff, but they're
unbelievable. I can't take this guy serious because he doesn't know the name of the lake. I said I had never been to the fucking stadium. Unreal. What am I just supposed to memorize every lake in America?
Yeah, unreal.
I guess I gotta study up on lakes. Yeah, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Because the defense does return 6 starters, 2 on the D line, none in the linebacking core, and pretty much their entire secondary is back. Pretty fascinating stuff there. Eric, how do I pronounce this one? Shenander is the DC. Obviously, like one of the things I thought they were terrible at last year, and the numbers kind of reflect that, is the pass defense. You look at what the defense did a year ago, Mac, and 37th in scoring defense, 106th in pass defense, 31st in rush defense, charting at the number 60 defense, in the nation. And
hey, let me ask you that. Do you think a lot of it was garbage time because they were up big in games?
Definitely. Some of that, correct. But still 106, like okay, some of those numbers are probably, but I still would say it was the weak part of the defense.
Yeah.
But the good news is you return your whole secondary and you return to, 2 of your defensive linemen. So they did go to the portal much more aggressively on the defensive side of the ball in the portal, bringing in Camden DeGraw-Trial from Wazoo, Washington State there. Malachi Williams from Idaho. They were an FCS playoff team, beat Wyoming in the Mountain West a season ago. Sterling Lane from Arizona. David Latu from BYU. Deion Washington from Hawaii. And Keanu Maloto from Arizona as well. Slew of guys on the D-line. And really, I guess, confident at the linebacker position, despite losing one of their top linebackers to Bill Belichick and Chapel Bill there. But they they added in the secondary Jaden Mickey from Notre Dame. Anytime you get a defensive player from Notre Dame in this day and age, that's a good get. Demetrius Freeney from Arizona and safety Derek Ganter from Eastern Washington. I do think the defense will take a jump. I know the schedule's harder, but I feel like the roster is better. So I will say that the defense is better this season than last season. It also helps when you play Air Force, who doesn't throw the ball. So that's going to help your numbers a little bit. What do you think about the defense?
Boy, they loaded up on the trenches. I mean, damn. I think that they are going to be good up front once again. And I think that they won't be playing in as many blowouts. So I think the pass defense will be a little more stout because they'll be facing more balanced offenses. So, I do agree with you. The schedule is interesting, but I don't think they play as good offenses. Like they don't have Oregon on the schedule like they did last year.
They do, but I mean, yeah, fair. I mean, Notre Dame's offense is not Oregon's, but
Yeah, I mean Notre Dame's good, but Notre Dame's more of a ground and pound and stay
true,
balanced.
very
Oregon's
true.
explosive as hell.
That is true. That is very true. And there is no San Jose State. I mean, we'll get to the schedule a little bit, but yeah, I think the defense will actually take a step forward statistically, and I think it will be a better defense than last year's defense. So there is that. Folks, want to tell you that the college football experience, Boise State edition, is brought to you by Circa Millions and Circus Survivor. Yes, think you know ball? Then you have to enter Circus Football Contest with $21 million in guaranteed prizes. There is no rake, so if the entries go above that guarantee, all the extra money goes to the prize pool. Circa Millions. You pick 5 NFL teams against the spread each week, or go for the ultimate sweat in Circa Survivor. There's even the Circa Grandissimo for $100K Survivor contest that's out there. You must register in person at Circa Sportsbook in Nevada, Las Vegas, which I'll be there, and God willing, in 24 hours. Great excuse to book a trip to Vegas, biggest sports book in the world, Stadium Swim. And by the way, it's a huge Boise State place. Derek, shout out to Derek Stevens, the owner of Circa, that was went up to the Boise game last fall and was just passing out Ashton Jeanty Heisman tickets to the fans. Yeah, huge Boise fan base at Circa, so you need to get out there if you're going. Come on out there. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com, use that promo code SGP to get $50 off your proxy fees. We're also brought to you by mybookie.ag. MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including the all the summer sports. Yeah, I had about $400 on a CFL game yesterday. MLB going on, CFL, WNBA, golf, tennis, racing, and of course, college football and NFL futures. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations, so even outside of the States. You can easily deposit and get lightning fast payouts using crypto, so head on over to mybookie.ag. But when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. Shout out to Sean in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in, brother. Yeah, excited to talk. But I love Boise, right? Shout out to Carson. Met Carson before. Great fucking guy. We need to come out to a game at Bronco Stadium, though. I call it. We're not gonna sell out here. All right, I'm not blaming them. Take your money, but it's Bronco Stadium on this fucking show. All right, but much love, brother, and been there before, and I'd like to get there again. And we're kind of at that point. We're like, we just went through the roster. Offense, slight regression, losing Jeanty's schedule. I think a little harder from a defensive standpoint. Defense better than a season ago. Little bit of coaching shakeup on the staff, and then that's all part of state of the program. Same with the stadium, which we call Bronco Stadium here on this show, because it is Bronco Stadium. It never went away. Albertsons gave you a bunch of money, sure, cool. Not here. But Albertsons, you want to give me a bunch of money? I could say Albertsons Stadium. I'm joking. It's Bronco Stadium to me. It's Bronco Stadium. 55 years young. I give this thing an 8 of 10, and a lot of this has to do with the fan base. It's an awesome fan base. Obviously, they have the unique Smurf turf. I had Dan Hawkins on the show, I don't know, a year ago, maybe a little bit more than that. I don't remember. And him and Dirk Cutter and the AD at the time were all kind of aware. I was interesting asking how they built Boise into what it is today. And they were thinking outside the box back then, saying, let's play as many weekdays games as we can. They were constantly hitting up ESPN saying, we can do that Thursday. We can do that Friday game. And they also had the genius branding of putting blue turf. I know some people don't like it, but I tell this story. I was at a cafe in LA in Culver City, California. And I was listening to 3 people sitting behind me, a guy and 2 girls. And I'm listening to this conversation, and it just kind of takes a turn. I'm sitting there eating, my back is to them. And all of a sudden they start talking about Boise State. And the 2 girls go, is that the team with the blue turf? Bingo. Bingo. That's why you do it. But Bronco Stadium, I mean, thinking outside the box, I give them a ton of credit for that. This stadium, I've been there. I went to an awesome game against BYU, 5-6 years ago that they ended up winning in dramatic fashion. Mac, it's outdoors in Boise, Idaho, the way football should be. I don't know your take. Do you like the blue turf?
Yes.
Or
yeah, it's different. It's unique. It's a brand. I'm actually a little higher on the stadium, I think, than you are.
Oh shit! I mean, I hope I'm not shitting on it with an 8. What are you giving it?
I was going to give it a 9. If it had still been Bronco Stadium, I might have done 10. I mean, they got a bowl game there. I just like the uniqueness of it, man. And it's in Boise, Idaho. Love Boise State, man.
Yeah. And yes, chat, Oregon State is next up tonight. Yeah, I mean, you look at this thing, the fan base is phenomenal. I got shit hammered at like a bar that was like a house. Like, right up the road, there's like a river right next to the stadium, but they're like, you can walk to like, I don't know. I was at like a bar that was like a house within 200 yards or 400 yards or something of the stadium. And they have the bowl game. The chat's talking about the bowl game where they throw the sweet potato fries on, or whatever it is on, yeah, I mean, it's a fire stadium. Get yourself out to a game, folks. Look at that beautiful Idaho in the background. Boise's a happening city. Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's just so unique too. Like where that is, with one instance watching on TV. Everyone else has copied this to the point where I believe there's something in the NCAA rule book that you can't change your stadium color now. You know that?
I didn't know that. No,
I think because Eastern Michigan and Coastal and
E-Dub, right?
Yeah, E-Dub and Central Arkansas. Maybe another, but I believe now there's actually something in at least the FBS where you can't actually do that. So I'm sure though, if you take it to court, the NCAA would lose that too. But yeah, just a phenomenal place to catch a game. Great fans. Like I said, there's like a river that runs right next to the stadium. I'm not sure if I have a shot of the river, but yeah, it's everything that's great about college football is Bronco Stadium and Boise State fans and what they represent. You see it a little bit there on the south side. There's a river right there. But yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Right? Look at that shit too, man. Come on out. There's a big ceremony. You got people on horseback. Let's go. All right. It is phenomenal. So you give it a 9 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10. I mean, I thought I was saying nice things. I didn't know this hot shot was going to come in here, making me, I like it a lot though. It's a great stadium and they do college football well. So get out to a game this fall. Great fans. Like you could be doing Jaeger bombs with these pricks, right? These great guys, right? Get on out there to a game. Look at that. You got mountains in the background. They always storm the field too, man. Can't recommend that enough. You pay a ridiculous tuition. Even if you didn't go to college there, you're paying out the ass for parking at every stadium these days. Storm the field. You'll remember that shit the rest of your life. Don't listen to Greg Sankey.
Hell yeah.
You should always storm the field in a big win. What are we talking about here? Yeah, get yourself on out to a game. I put a lot of photos in here. State of the program though, Mac. I had a hard time with this one because part of me is like 10, but they are leaving the Mountain West
to the Pac-12.
And entering the Pac-12, which I suspect they'll still be top dog, even though Wazoo and Oregon State might make it a little more challenging, a little deeper. But then I'm like, I don't know. Brian Harsin wanted them to get to the Big 12, or I feel like a lot of their fan base did. So I gave it 8 of 10 because I do believe the culture is just so strong there. But I also think they do want to be in the Big 12. So, or in a power conference. And I know that's the debate now is the Pac-12 going to be a power conference? I am on the fence with that. It depends, potentially. I mean, all those schools are respectable at football. But where are you at with the state of the program?
I'll go 9. I mean, coming off college football playoff, getting a shot at the Pac-12, I think they're going to still be the top dog. They invest enough and they have a brand. So give me a 9 out of 10.
There we go. He's always one-upping me over here, this prick. Right?
I'll see you guys. See you guys maybe this year. You never know.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's go, man. All right, well, let's talk about the schedule because week 1, South Florida, they know what they're doing, putting this game on at welcome to home field advantage.
Yeah.
We're going to play this game at the most, what time is it there? 4 o'clock or some shit?
5:30. Genius schedule.
This game is scary to me, but I trust Boise State. This isn't their first time they go down to Florida. Remember when they went and put it on Florida State? Great game there. With Hank Bachmeier. That was like the best game Bachmeier ever played for them. I'll take Boise, but it is a slippery game. I'll tell you that. I expect South Florida to be kind of contenders in the AAC this year. So Vaughn, very fun Thursday night opener, but Boise gets it done. It just might be a little sweaty. What's that line? Do you have a line on that?
It's 9.5.
Woo!
Points.
I think I'd have to take the points, but Boise wins the game. 1-0. What are you doing here?
Said all these nice things about Boise, and then I'm going to take USF. I think coming off a magical year, first game without Gene T, trying to get their roles defined. I think it's a tough spot down in Florida. If you remember, they struggled at Georgia Southern in the opener last year. That heat down there is different in Tampa. So, yeah, give me South Florida here to
outright. Woo!
Stun college football to start the year.
He says all these things, Boise fans, giving it Stadium 9, Program 9. Wow.
It's not a conference loss.
Okay. Well, that would be a substantial loss if they're trying to get into the playoffs because just because you win the Mountain West, I mean, this is big for the AAC. Because what if South Florida doesn't win then, and Boise would be competing with, say, Memphis, Tulane, or actually, more importantly, I think they'd be competing with this team. So if ECU does win the AAC, like we all know they will, it makes it tricky. I got them 1-0. You got them 0-1. Boise fans, he's at Moneyline_Mac on Twitter. Make sure you call him a moron. Then love this regionality here. E-Dub coming to town. This series goes back quite a ways, back to the 60s. Well, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. They're not going to lose they don't lose on the fucking Smurf turf. So better luck next year. Eastern Washington, to quote Happy Gilmore. What are you doing here? Tell me you got them going 0-2 after you praised them that well.
No, E-Dub's going back to the red turf. Blue turf rolls here.
Yeah. Wow. Some South Florida fans in here saying that. Yeah. Yeah, Clinton Moses, I think the big thing that if I can speak for him, I know he'll talk in a second here, but I think, they run the veer and shoot. Boise's pass defense was not great last year. Mm-hmm. Byron Brown is back at the quarterback spot for South Florida. It's his 3rd year in the offense. He was a little dinged up last year. I think he's a very talented quarterback. And I'll tell you this, if Boise does not have their pass defense figured out, I do think that could be the weakness of Boise last year is the strength of South Florida, in my opinion. But I got Boise winning it, but I do think it's nice. Another thing is the heat. But, Mac, what's your reasons for taking South Florida?
I mean, like you said, Bryant, year 3 of the system, and Galesh, I think he's done a pretty good job there. And the team speed at South Florida is really good. So the heat is a real thing, especially when you're playing – what is it, August the 28th? I mean, they're like this. Florida teams have a really, really good record early in the year.
You know what's good? You know what's going to help Boise though?
What's that?
There's going to be like a 6-hour lightning delay, after the first quarter.
Probably, yeah. It'll probably start at like 11.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. Like I've been watching football my whole life. I just don't believe these things. Like. It cannot be. Like last year in the studio, we have an 8 TV setup at the studio in LA, and we're watching, and I was like, dude, 7 of the 8 TVs were on lightning delays. And I just refuse to believe there's that much lightning out there. I think we're just being overcautious.
Yeah.
When's the last player that got struck by lightning? Just want to throw that out there, right? Back in the 60s, dude have a fucking car in the end zone too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But it might help Boise.
Yeah.
Maybe I actually think they kind of use it as strategy these days. It's like, look at that. There's lightning in the air. There's a chance of lightning. Let's call the game for a couple hours. I don't want to be down 21 by half. All right. After Eastern Washington, look at Ryan Dinwiddie, the sitting head coach of the reigning Grey Cup champs, Toronto Argonauts. Check out the CFL Gambling Podcast for more on that. Come out of the bye week. I don't like the early bye week, especially after an FCS. But it is nice to get a bye week before you take on Troy Calhoun in the triple option, which I think, just like a lightning delay, they did this shit on purpose because in my opinion, Air Force gives Boise the most trouble out of any teams in the Mountain West. Historically, I always felt like Calhoun's guys give them games. That's why it's smart to put that bye week there. And that's why Boise will escape with a win, even though I think it could be dicey, but I like getting them this early too.
I agree with you. I think getting a bye before Air Force is a blessing. So gives you an opportunity to get ready for that Calhoun offense. Give me Boise to get a big road win here to start Mountain West play.
Oh, and it gets a little crazy right after this. But before I get to the next game, I want to let you know that the Boise State season preview is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You know, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long, giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million to first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football, folks. So sign up, and when you do, use our promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits. There, UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Yeah, you probably heard me talk about Rhythm before, but get this. They just dropped a game-changing new feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. And Power Trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets, baby. And the MLB Power Trends, it's truly kicking ass. 254 and 147 this season, a win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. So what are you doing? Download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back, and the hate is coming in. The hate is coming in. When's the last time Boise sucked? 97, 96?
What suck? 8-4?
Yeah. I am fascinated by that Air Force game, but I think here's why I like it that early. Because if I remember, 7, 8 years ago, you get some weather. Boise, even though they are a run team over the past few years, I still think they have great skill position players. And anytime you get Air Force in Colorado Springs later in the year when there's rain or snow, now it still could rain in September or whatever, but I would prefer to play them earlier as opposed to later. Another thing is they run a timing offense. So, as the season goes, I find them to be a harder opponent, as you saw last year by winning their final 4 or 5 games. So right now, look at this stretch. This stretch is pretty awesome, by the way. This next 4 games. You got them at what? 2-1. I got them at 3-0. Then, oh boy. Thank you. This is a perfect game. Thank you for putting this on the schedule. They've played once and it was in 94 and it was a 3-point game if memory serves me correct. App State is kind of like the poor man's Boise State. They won at Michigan in one of the greatest college football games ever. They've won at South Carolina. They've won at North Carolina, I think, twice. They lost by a last-second field goal at Miami where they had the lead up to 3 seconds left in that game. They won at Texas A&M. They pushed Penn State to overtime at Penn State. They are Boise Junior. That's why I love this game. It's a dangerous game to me, though, because you have Notre Dame on deck. I know it's the Smurf turf, so I can't go against it. But I love the spot for Appalachian State. Like, you couldn't ask for a better spot. They just get done with a triple option team, which I had, legendary defensive coordinator Bud Foster on the show, and he talked about that being, it's tough doing the transition, going to the triple option, then coming out of it. I'll take Boise because it's Smurf turf, and I just trust that stat, but I don't feel amazing about it, especially with the Irish game on deck. What are you doing here?
Well, and App has a bye week. Yeah, but I'm not going against Boise at home. Yep, 3-1.
Can't wait to watch that game. Very excited for that game.
Fantastic.
Then I'm very excited for this game, and I want to give Notre Dame some credit. Look, I've shit on Notre Dame schedules before, and rightfully so. Some of them have been pathetic with their lack of true away games. I wish it would have been a home and home, but you're still putting Boise State on the schedule. And I know a lot of teams are afraid of doing that. USC. But this game's awesome. I will take Notre Dame. But I'll tell you this, if CJ Carr struggles, and Notre Dame's one of their best offensive linemen just got in like an ATV accident in Wyoming. Are we sure that wasn't a Boise fan pulling like the classic fucking cartoon of taking some tacks and just throwing it out there? Yeah, cut the wires when they weren't looking. I'll take the Irish at home. I wish it was a home and home. But Notre Dame, they lost to Marshall.
Yeah.
They lost to North Illinois. They lost to Stanford when they were terrible. Boise can do this, man. And especially if CJ Carr struggles a little bit. But I'll take Notre Dame. What are you doing here?
I'm tempted too, man, but I'll trust Notre Dame at home. Carr will have had a couple big game starts already. But, man, I'm rooting for Boise. Come on, man. Shock the world. But I got Notre Dame 3-2 for Boise.
It's a great game on the schedule, though.
Yeah.
That's why kudos to Notre Dame because, Boise's been I've talked to people, and I know they try to schedule aggressively. And after going into Georgia and beating Georgia and, beating us Oregon at, they lost to Oregon last year. And that was the first time I think Oregon got them. First or second, right? Because they've been whooping their ass. Boise has gone on the road and done this. Virginia Tech in Maryland, and when they were top 10 or top 15. This game's awesome though. So yeah, I got them right here at 4-1. You got them at 3-2.
Yep.
Then Jason Eck. He's familiar with Idaho. He was in Moscow over the past few years. Did a great job with the Vandals. Now he's with the Lobos. I really like that hire. But yeah, it's on the Smurf turf. Give me Boise. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Boise big. Bounce back.
Then, after that, UNLV and Dan Mullen. Coming up there. October 18th. It could start to be a little brisk. Smurf turf play. I'm not that high on UNLV this year. I think the world's overreacting a little bit on these Rebs. Boise rolls. But obviously, this was the Mountain West Championship game a year ago. But I got the Boise getting it done. Let's go. What are you doing here?
Yeah, Boise rolls here. UNLV, not the same team away from that dome. It'll be brisk. Yeah. Yep, Boise.
Then after that, they head to Reno, Nevada to take on Jeff Choate.
Friday night game.
Former Boise employee, coach there. And I think he interviewed for one of their coaching positions. So I know he might want to stick it to, hey, you didn't hire me, pricks. All right. But I'll take Boise. I built it up nice though, right? I'm like, you never know. But look, Nevada. I do think Choate's doing a good job with Nevada, but I think Boise will be this game. Obviously, the classic game. Boise fans don't want me to talk about that game where their kicker just botched multiple kicks. But yeah, what are you doing here?
I was gonna say Friday night in Reno. You got the scars coming back for Boise. But I think they get it done here. Keep rolling in the Mountain West play.
All right, then Fresno State coming to Boise. I feel like if there's one of the only teams that's got like multiple wins on the Smurf turf is Fresno, but that was with Jeff Tedford. So I'm all over Boise here. I don't think Fresno's going to be there in year one. What are you doing here?
Yep, give me Boise at home.
Malik Sherrod revenge game too. Let's go.
True. Yep.
Then after that, they hit another bye. Look at Cutter and Dan Hawkins there. They come out of the bye week and they head to the snapper where everyone gets laid. San Diego State. I know Rocky Long had a knack for giving Boise some trouble, but I'm not buying it here, man. Boise goes into the snapper and rolls. What are you doing here?
Yeah, the San Diego State and that cha-cha offense. No, not happening. Boise rolls.
Yeah. Then after that, they welcome Colorado State, who's only beat them once in their whole existence, and that was on a Hail Mary a couple years ago. Oh, the Smurf Turf, have fun. Boise rolls. What are you doing here?
Not picking Colorado State and Boise, that's for damn sure. Especially this late in the year. Norvell trying to throw it all over the yard. No chance. Boise.
And they end the season with the trip to Logan, Utah. What could go wrong? Oh, Bronco Mendenhall could go wrong. What if I told you of those 15 losses, multiple of those losses on the Smurf Turf? And this isn't even on the Smurf Turf. This is at Maverick Stadium there. Merlin Olsen Field. But Mendenhall has given Boise some fits over the years. Took UVA in there and put it on them. I'm going to call for an upset here. This is my second loss of the season. Utah State gets them. I would want to play Mendenhall early in the year. I think by the end of the year they'll figure out some things. I still think Boise could have a path to the playoffs here, but give me an upset with the Aggies taking down Boise. They're going to storm the field at Maverick Stadium on November 29th. What are you doing here, Mac?
Yeah, Black Friday. I call for the upset on the Utah State preview. I think Mendenhall and company spoil it. 9-3 for me. They still would win the Mountain West regular season, though.
Ooh. Well, you're on the under with Boise. I'm on the over. I think there's a great shot at 11-1. And to tell you the truth, the way Notre Dame plays these late September, early October games, 12-0 is not out of the realm of possibility. They're minus 130 to win the Mountain West. I would not play that. I mean, actually, I guess minus 130 is not that bad. I mean, they win the Mountain West almost every year.
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident that Boise's going to be playing in the Mountain West championship game. So minus 130, actually, the more I think about it, why not? Plus 200 to make the college football playoffs. Obviously, if you lose to South Florida in the opener, I think that would be a gigantic win for the AAC. And that would make it very hard for Boise to cash that, in my opinion. Mac, the schedule, 9.5. I mean, look at the schedule. It's a great schedule. The ceiling is 12-0, right?
Yeah, if they can get that. I don't know if they can get Notre Dame. They might be able to get them. I mean, Northern Illinois and Marshall got them. Why can't Boise?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, now what's the floor? Like, if they do lose to South Florida, what if Calhoun gets them?
Yeah,
Notre Dame, and then what? A fourth, 8-4. Is the floor 7-5? The floor?
Yeah,
7-5. The floor. No, am I being crazy?
I'd be kind of surprised if they got all the way down to 7-5. I'd say 8-4.
Yeah, I do. I agree with Big Bird. I have San Jose State taking on Boise State, which that's what you gotta like. I feel like if you're a Boise fan, is there is no San Jose State on the schedule. You could say, well, UNLV and Colorado State were in competition with San Jose State as the best remaining teams in the Mountain West from a year ago. So drawing two of those three. However, I kind of feel like UNLV's in a little bit of a rebuild. So, Boise State sucks. Can't win against the big boys. What? No, that's not accurate.
That's very false.
They've actually won majority of the games against the big boys. They lost to Oregon by 3 last year, and then the Penn State game. But if you look historically, I mean, I remember them beating Arizona, beating TCU, beating Georgia in fucking Atlanta, beating Virginia Tech in Maryland, Oregon, Washington State, Washington. I mean, shit, Oregon State. I mean, you can go on. I'm probably forgetting some. UCLA. Not accurate. Yeah, I mean, that's a great schedule, man. I feel pretty good about the over, dude. Like I almost feel like it's lock worthy because I just feel like, yes, they could lose to South Florida, but they could also beat Notre Dame. Yes, they could lose to Utah State, but they're going to be favored in that game.
Yeah, they will be. They'll be favored in 11 out of 12 games. Only one, not Notre Dame.
Yeah. So yeah, I have San Jose State, Boise State as the Mountain West Championship game. Now here's the sneaky part. I think there's a shot that San Jose is hosting that game. Boise's got to run the table because I really like San Jose State's conference schedule, the way it aligns. So it's going to be interesting to watch that race. If Utah State does get Boise or perhaps Air Force or something, then it makes it kind of tricky. But either way, Boise's in a good spot. They're the more talented team. And that's why I think minus 130, I don't think it's a crazy bet at all. I think it's pretty solid, actually. I'm afraid you are wrong. You lost to Oregon and Penn State and barely beat. No, but we're talking about the history of the program.
We just
You're just talking about the past 12 months. Yeah. We have proof, buddy. Yeah, Virginia's another one you can add on there. BYU's another one.
They've beaten almost everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm on the over. I feel pretty damn good about it, though, man. I feel it's almost lock worthy to me.
It's my hot take. Under, and they win the Mountain West.
Do they make the playoffs?
No.
Yeah.
I think they're one game out this year.
I don't know. I think it's worth a shot. It matters with that. We haven't done our Tulane preview yet, so I haven't been able to go through there. But Liberty, I got Liberty running it, but I don't think their strength of schedule is good enough. The fact that Boise plays at Notre Dame, I think the committee will respect that. So I do think I don't think this is a shocking statement, but I do think they're the front runners again to make the playoffs. So got to be fun to watch, though, man. I love that schedule they put together with South Florida, Eastern Washington, App State, and Notre Dame in the non-con. Can't wait to see how they do. And I think the run game is going to be better than people think. I hear a lot of people saying, well, they lost JT. Their run game is going to be, can they run? Malik Sherrod's a beast. I think the young kid, too, is going to be a player as well. So, all right, folks, we'll be back in about 5 minutes talking Oregon State Beaver football. Enjoy the Boise State slideshow on the way out. And can't wait to check out the season. Buckham Broncos, let's go. All right, folks. See you in 5 minutes. This is the college football experience, Boise State style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1. Yeah, 7. Let's get 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love.
Oklahoma, how do we forget that one?
To outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks. Largely cause leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So arrange the pieces to appear cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I'm taken to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles taped. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still I run the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team and the turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree that are fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause the season goal moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just the words of the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now one day my potential may become reputation. Until then, I'm still a work in progress. I suggest you question what I'm saying. If anything, to become familiar with the process. My agenda may suit your needs. When I say your Bill of Rights has been ripped to shreds, but if it defends what you believe, hold dear to your truths and scream fuck seeds. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul are nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself.